How's it going, everybody? Jody in here, and back with another episode in my Farming Simulator 25 series. This is episode 2, and I have added a few mods, like I said I was going to in the last episode. Now, nothing game-breaking, nothing, I kind of want to say nothing beneficial, but that would be a lie, because the whole reason you add mods is for benefits, to improve your gameplay. So I can't really say nothing beneficial. How about saying nothing cheaterish, nothing that is going to really change the game to make it easier for me to. Well, I can't even say that, because there were a couple mods that not necessarily balance the economy, but make production chains a little bit better. They kind of balance the production chains, because everybody knows when Giants sets up their economy, they do a real piss poor job of it. They honestly do. It's one of the worst economies I've ever seen set up. It is strictly supply and demand. There's no real production benefits. In fact, I think when we were playing Farming Simulator 22, I think I was actually losing money. I went back and watched some of my old videos, and I actually think I was losing money by turning the wheat into bread. I actually think I was losing money some of the time, because again, it was focusing on supply and demand. So if I supplied too much bread, the price dropped so dramatically that it was actually cheaper to sell the wheat directly than it was to make the bread. So I installed a mod that kind of balances that better, or supposedly balances that better. I don't know if it does or not. So it gives production chains a little bit of a benefit. I also installed a couple of mods that are strict production. So, for example, turning rocks into lime, which I can then put back on the field. Nothing out of the ordinary there. And so on and so forth, those kind of things. Some vehicle mods to give me a few more vehicle options. I think I put in a couple greenhouse mods. One was to allow production of certain things, like I think beans, olives, and a few of those things. You still have to provide the seeds, the water, fertilizer, all that stuff, but you don't have to have it in a field. Yeah, you can have it in a greenhouse, which, that's actually real world. You can do that. And there were a few other mods. I'm trying to think now. A couple of vehicle mods, like I said. The greenhouse mod. There was, I think, a couple of winch mods. I think I put in a lumber grinder. I think it was actually the same lumber grinder that we had in Farming Simulator 22. The one that just chewed the shit out of entire trees. But I intend to use it only for stumps in this one. We're not gonna tear up entire trees for profit again. And a couple other mods, but nothing too groundbreaking. Just some things to give me a few more options in my farming, but nothing to make the game too easy, so to speak. I want the inside view, because that is the best view for driving this thing. And down, and speed is, look at that, the speedometer, or the, what do you call it? The cruise control reset. How dare it? Alright. Let's get our beets. Finish collecting our beets so we can get our next product into the field. Because these beets are a pain in the ass. They sell good, but they're a pain in the ass. Yeah, it looks like we got a cotton field beside us, which we can ill afford. If we could afford it, that would be actually probably a good field to grab. It's right beside the field we already have, and it's already got a ready crop. So that would actually be a good thing. Oh, if you look at the top of the screen, you'll see another mod I added, which, like I said earlier, I actually found it. You can see the temperature reading. That, of course, is in Celsius. So it was Farming Simulator 25 that had that. When I was mentioning the fog and how the fog didn't seem to match the weather. That's what I was talking about. I actually had that up there, and I was like, this doesn't seem like fog weather. Although right now it kind of seemed like fog weather. So it's early in the morning, dew point's low. You know, temperature hasn't really come up yet. You can see it's 18 degrees with a high at 25 and a low of 15. So when I say it's not foggy weather, what I refer to is when we are currently at the high for the day and we have fog. That to me makes no sense. Alright, get rid of that. Alright, let's move. So, like, if we had been at, let's say, if we had been at 25 degrees, which is the high for the day, and we had been at 25 degrees for, you know, half the day already, and then all of a sudden we get fog, just out of nowhere. It's like we've been at 25 degrees for hours and hours and hours, and then all of a sudden, fog. And we're still at 25 degrees. That makes no sense. There's absolutely no logic to that at all. Because fog requires variations in ground and air temperature, as well as a massive amount of humidity in the air. So if you're sitting at the daytime high of like 25 for hours, you know, everything's climatized. So and the temperature hasn't changed. So for all of a sudden to get fog with no temperature change, after everything's been acclimatized to that temperature, that just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. You have to have a temperature change in order to have fog. Gathering up the beats. Oh crap. I didn't set up our times. Okay. So our time scale, which is currently 10 times, right? But we have down here our time scaling for day mode should be 10. Start hour for night, 21:30. Time scale for night, 80. That should be fine. So yeah, 10 times per day, and it should go to 80 times for night. So night just kind of speeds back. You know what? Let's go 50. 50 for night. So nighttime should just speed by. And then we'll be alright. We'll save the game so it saves the settings, because I don't trust the settings to be saved without the game being saved. Alright. And back at it. So we should have a nice long day. We should have a fairly quick night. Of course. Stay on course. So yeah, we have the fog. You can see the fog. Right now it's appropriate for fog. I keep coming back to this, but right now it's appropriate for fog. I will be sure to point out when it's not appropriate for fog. If that of course happens. Again. I wasn't able to capture it. Well, I did capture that. It's just I wasn't able to use that video because of the technical issue that came up with the game. But now we're in it. We're on episode 2, so you know, whatever happens from here on, we'll just roll with it. If we lose sound mid-game or whatever, we'll just restart the game. Hopefully that'll fix it and carry on. Or if the game crashes and we end up rolling back, it's fine. We'll just carry on. Probably should have done the beat offload on the last round, so I didn't have to stop midway. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Let's go. I do like that you can kind of feel the weight of the vehicle. You kind of get a sense of the weight of the vehicle. Beets! Just beat it. Hey, I think one load of this is one load of that. If I counted that right. I think that trailer's perfectly filled. Which is kind of nice. But yeah, see how it's bobbing and weaving a little bit? You kind of get a sense of the weight of the vehicle. I'm pretty sure that was in Farming Simulator 22 as well. I do remember the vehicles not driving, you know, all vehicles didn't drive the same in 22, so there was some aspect of vehicle weight added in there. That's not really a new feature, it's just something that's noticeable. Kind of adds to the immersion. But we were talking yesterday about, or wait, was that yesterday? I don't know. When did I record the last video? Might have been yesterday, or was it this morning? Freaking hell, I don't even remember now. Was I doing that this morning, or I did that yesterday morning? Oh god. It's the weekend. My days blur together. I think it was yesterday. Anyway, so now that I've shown my Alzheimer's, no. Yeah. So what I was saying in the last video there was, I was talking about giants and their money sapping ways and all that stuff, and how the modding community is really the only thing keeping this game rolling. And I came to realize that the whole reason it happens, or the whole reason that they're getting away with it, and why Farming Simulator is so popular, is because it's the only game out there. It's the only thing out there. Farming Simulator's been around since 2008, I believe. I think that's the first one I got. And it's the only game in town. There has not really been any direct competition. And I mean, some people can point to other games that have attempted to do farming, but they've never done it like this. There's no farming game that's come out, to my knowledge, that has actually done farming in this way. Usually, it's you take over, your relative's farm, and you have like a couple of fields, and that's it. And you try to improve your ancestors' farm. Kind of like something like Stardew Valley. Although Stardew Valley's a poor example, but it's an example of the theme. It's a good example of the theme of how you come in and you take over your relative's farm and just try to make the best of it. You're given a small farming area and have to make the best of it. Whereas this game is basically, you can buy the whole town. You can buy a field here, field there, field somewhere else, and you're not limited to just your ancestors' farm. Like, I'm not limited to this field. If I want to buy a field on the other end of town, I can buy a field on the other end of town. And to my knowledge, no other farming game that has been a simulation like this has done that. They've all stuck to the whole taking over your relative's farm, and you get the small farming area that you can't really grow. It's like a predetermined size. It's not a map. It's a residence. It's an established farm, and that's all you have. You can improve it. You can clean it up. You can grow it as far as clearing out area around, like just the same as I can cut down those trees there and increase the field size here. But in those games, you can't go beyond the road. Whereas in this game, you can go beyond the road and buy the next field. And I think that is where the competition has failed. Because I'm a strong believer that if there were a direct competitor to this game, now I mean a game that does it the same, a game that basically does it the same, it gives you a town, and you start to buy properties in that town. If there was another game that did that, I don't believe Giants would be in business as far as Farming Simulator goes. I think it would put them right out of the competition. Because Giants is not a customer-friendly company. They are a customer abusing company as far as I'm concerned. They do everything they can to get money out of their customers, and don't really provide anything in return for that. Or I should say, they provide the bare basics of what they actually have to do. Like, if you spent 2 years in development and all you add is fog to a game, or that's your big hook is, oh, we've added fog after 2 years of development, and who knows how much DLC, you know, came out for that last game that you tried to make profit off of. It gets to a point where you see the priorities of the company, and the priorities of the company is not in making a decent game. The priorities of the company are making as much money as they can for as little effort as they can, as far as I'm concerned. In fact, I could probably see them in their war room, you know, making additions to Farming Simulator 22, and then saying, okay, is this enough to call it Farming Simulator 25? Would this be enough for people to accept this as Farming Simulator 25? And then as soon as they reach a point where they're like, yeah, I think so, then all of a sudden they go, hey, guess what? Farming Simulator 25 is out. When it's, in reality, behind the scenes, it's still Farming Simulator 22. It's just got features added to it. Like fog. And a couple more crops. I mean, honestly, if I was to play Farming Simulator 22 beside this game, beside Farming Simulator 25, I don't know if you would be able to tell which one I'm playing. Aside from the GUI changes, which are basic and simple to do, you know, GUI changes to the GUI are really not. What the fuck just happened? I got wedged on a tree somehow? I did get wedged on a tree somehow. How the freak did I get wedged on a tree? Well, this is gonna be... I think I just undid one credit. Yeah. I need to undo this trailer. Go. I'll tractor over here a little bit. But as I say, changes to a GUI are really not that difficult to do. They are extremely simple to do. Changes to menus, things like that, those are all basically graphical improvements. They are very, very, very easy to do. They are in no way a benefit to the players of the game. Unless the old GUI was absolutely fucking horrible, which it wasn't. 22 had a decent GUI. Roll back and then roll forward. I think we got it? Nope. Gotta do a better roll than that. I have no idea how I'm up on that tree. Okay. That should do. Come on, pull her this way. Pull her this way. There we go. Now we're getting around it. Hey, I have to buy that field just to get the fucking rid of that tree. So I can use the shortcut. Alright, we're through. Alright, but anyways, like I said, very, very small improvements. Like their big advertisement for 25 has been the volumetric fog, which to me, that's not a big deal. That is something we could have done without. I mean, I haven't heard anybody screaming about not having fog. I really haven't. I've not heard a single Farming Simulator player screaming about, hey, when are we getting fog? Why am I stuck in first gear? What is going on here? There we go. It's like we're at 22 degrees now. And we still have fog. The fog hasn't burned off yet. Which is kind of weird. Kind of weird that the fog hasn't burned off yet. Note to giants, fog does not stick around all day. You'll get fog in the morning during heavy temperature changes, but you know, sometime during the morning the fog will quote unquote burn off. That's just what we call it. It's the slang term for it. Fog will burn off, and you'll have a nice clear day. As someone who's grown up on a lake with water everywhere, I know this to be true. Fog does not stick around all freaking day. In fact, it doesn't even stick around all freaking morning. It's usually there first thing in the morning, and then it's gone by it's gone by, you know, 10, 11 o'clock. Your calculations are incorrect. Six down for harvest. Nice. It's a little better than what we made yesterday, which was yesterday was at $4,000, I think, per. So I'm guessing that has something to do with the balancing mod that I put in. Which I'm not going to scoff at that. I mean, I'm pretty dang sure, like I said, Giants' economy is kind of broken. And since this is our somewhat first deliveries, I'd expect them to make more than, you know, our 30th or 40th delivery. I would expect our later deliveries to be lower. Like after we do, you know, maybe 10 loads, I would expect the cost to be about $4,000 per load. But for our first loads, no. No. I would expect this to be somewhere up around, like I said, 6 to 8, maybe even, well, maybe not 10, but 6 to 8 somewhere for our first loads, first deliveries, because we haven't saturated the market yet. And one farmer's field is not going to saturate the market. Even in a video game, it shouldn't. If you're doing like field after field after field, that's how you saturate a market. Just one field, that doesn't saturate. And there's really not a lot of farmers on this map doing red beets right now. Alright, let's go in here. Back under our little buddy. Yeah, we'll switch over and hop back in here. And away we go. Am I gonna clean this before I return it? Probably fucking not. Uh-oh, I think I just hung this up on a trailer. Should not have turned. Where did I end? I ended over here, did I not? I thought I ended a row squirrely. Oh, it was over there. It was over there. I'm gonna get to where I ended the row. have to carve it again. We're getting a pretty short corner there once more. There it is. There's our end. Alright. Well, let's continue with our beet collecting. This is a good sized field. We're gonna make some decent coin off of this. As long as we can, I mean, I think we've made up for the rentals. I think. We might be into profits. I rented that other machine by accident. Well, not by accident, I just wasn't paying attention. This is what happens when I, you know, if I hop on and play either early in the morning or really late at night, that's when I make mistakes like that. Because normally I'll know to check and see if the field's ready to harvest first before I start just renting machines. So, you know, we lost about, was it $2,000? A little over $2,000. I think it was under 2.5, but it was over $2,000 just in having the machines for a day. That we didn't use them. So that was a big mistake on my part. Should have put them to use. I actually shouldn't have rented them until I could put them to use. But that's fine. We'll get this field done. We'll get lots of beets. And then we'll switch her over. Maybe I want to do something with a wide harvester. So probably like oats or wheat or I think potatoes have a wide harvester. So I don't want to be like this, spending all frickin' day harvesting on a machine that's, you know, ridiculously narrow. If I had a small field, this would be fine. But the fact that this is a big field, we're going to be harvesting for quite a while. I'd love to hand this over to the AI, but you saw what happened last time. Spent more time dicking around than actually harvesting the field. Although, now that our headlands are gone, it should just be doing it back and forth if I were to switch over to it. The AI worker. And then I can focus on unloading and delivering while it's doing the actual harvesting. So let's... Okay, so number of headlands, 5 out of 3. Headlands off. Start with up and down. Okay, so if I hit OK on that and then hire the worker, he should just go straight into harvesting. You might get a little screwed up for the first couple of runs because I may have already harvested the first couple of runs, but he should get right into harvesting. Although he already seems like he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. He's already gonna miss a row. Yeah, he's already gonna miss a row. But that's fine, I can come back and clean that up. As long as he does the rest of the friggin' field properly, I can come back and clean that up. So I'm going to hope that he now shifts over and continues doing the rest of the main field instead of going back and getting that one friggin' little line. No, he's going to do that one friggin' little line and then probably see, I'm done. Gonna do that one friggin' little line and then probably say I'm done. You bastard. Wow, get off board. Back to you on the other side now. Ah, bravo. Bravo. Figured it out. Alright. Good, good. It can be taught. Alright, so I'm just going to wait here until he's back on his return swing. Let's get into position now. We'll hitch up beside him here and just gonna swing it in here. A little further. A little further. There. In closer. There. Alright, start filling the back one on the next go around. Which I will go prepare for because I thought I was going to have enough time to swing around, but Jesus. He's faster than I thought. Swing back down here and we'll wait for him. And then we'll work on getting the back one. He's got some speed. Okay, so mental note, in the future, I should do the headlands first. And then let the AI finish up with the rest of the field. If I'm going to use the AI to harvest. Because apparently they suck at headlands. This is not course play. Please, can we have course play back? Developer of course play, can we get you back? Please. Please, please. Pretty, pretty please. Municipal course play. Oh, look at now our beat thing is one row instead of having 2 rows. Talk about your inconsistencies. Oh, and you're gonna drive right into me. Yeah, that's smart. There's two directions you could have picked there, and you picked the wrong one! Wait to see how these ground deformations turn out, because you can see all the tracks in the field. I'm wondering if it just, like, eventually your field just gets all tracked up and you have to plow it or something to fix that. Oh, look at the barge going down the river. That's nice. I mean, it did that in 22 as well, but it's nice to see a little scenery movement. 22 had that. Nice to see they didn't delete that in favor of some other stupid thing, you know, like fog. Man, why am I stuck in first gear again? Come on, we gotta catch up to him. Good lord. Why is it whenever I need you to move, you won't move? Don't turn into me. We got a deer in the field. It doesn't know what to do. It's running in circles. Excuse me, little guy. You don't want to be in this field. Go over to the cotton field. You'll have a much more better time over there. There you go. So I was thinking about my choice of turning off the seasonal growth, and I think I'm going to maintain that decision, but not indefinitely. Not indefinitely. I think I'm going to maintain that decision until we start to get our first decent chunk of income here. Once we get a little bit more established, I think I will slide that back down to actual seasonal growth. And the reason I say that is, with seasonal growth, with it starting us in September, well, it started us in August, I should say. If it had started us in, you know, March or April, when the planting seasons are, I don't think I would have a problem. I don't think I would have a problem, because we would have time to get our field sowed. We could borrow the machines. We can get our field sowed. We can get them rolling. Because it started us in September, the fields are all ready to harvest, which means we have to buy the harvesting gear. And we don't have an option of what we plant. So, you know, like I said, I'm stuck with the beets here. I wanted this field, but it had red beets in it. I didn't have a choice of buying the field and then planting what I wanted. So, it's kind of like, yeah, it makes it harder. Because instead of renting a machine that was like, you know, 100,000, I'm stuck renting a machine that's 500,000. You know, I could have planted wheat and rented a combine, instead of, you know, getting stuck with the red beets. Which, I mean, the red beets are definitely profitable. Don't get me wrong, But once I'm done harvesting the red beets here, I'm not going to have time for another planting season. It's going to be the end of the year, and I'm going to have to survive winter with just this. You know, I don't have a chance to resow and regrow before winter. Whereas in a lot of places, you know, if you start your season early in the year, you can get 2 plantings out of it and 2 harvests. So, I mean, I see it around here all the time. We have a lot of farmland around here, and I see them doing that all the time. The farmers, they'll get 2 harvests in, depending on the year, of course. You know, some years winter's longer, and some years the weathers don't cooperate, and you know, all kinds of things happen in a farmer's life to make things miserable. But I've definitely seen the farms around here doing, you know, 2 plantings a year, just because they get them in the ground early, they grow early, and then they harvest and replant right away. I'm not 100% sure which crops those are. I'm pretty sure wheat is one. I know corn isn't, because corn takes the whole damn season to grow. Now, I might have seen wheat harvest followed by corn. I don't think so. I'm trying to think now. I've definitely seen wheat and then wheat. I've seen 2 harvests of wheat. I've seen 2 harvests of hay. Which is basically, you know, very similar. Well, it's grass, but I've definitely seen 2 harvests of hay. I think I've seen 2 harvests of wheat. I think. You know what, let's check. Let's check. Let's do a quick check. Got my cell phone here. Trying to. You know, this is what it looks like, folks, when you try to use your devices while you drive. This is why you don't do that. Okay. Where are we? How long does wheat take to grow? Wheat typically takes between 90 and 250 days to grow, depending on summer, or depending on the weather. Spring wheat usually spring wheat matures in 100 to 130 days, while winter wheat takes 180 to 250 days, which includes a period of dormancy. So, if you plant winter wheat, which I believe you harvest in the spring, and then you plant spring wheat, which you'll harvest in the fall, you can definitely get two plantings of wheat in a year. So there you go. I have seen 2 plantings of wheat in a year. Or 2 harvestings, I should say. 2 harvestings of wheat in a year. And I do believe I have seen a spring wheat harvest with a fall corn harvest. I do believe I have seen that. So, like I'm saying, if they would have started us in the springtime with the same setup that they started us with now, so the fields already have stuff planted. Spring stuff, like wheat, you know, oats, that kind of stuff. If they would have started us that way, with spring crops, ready to harvest, we could get two we could get two harvests done before the winter, before our first winter, instead of being stuck, with, like I said, with this one harvest and then a winter and then nothing. So I think what I'm going to do is, after I get a decent amount of... Seriously? You crashed into me that time. Once I get a decent amount of the farm done here, like get a couple of buildings going, maybe get a second field, maybe get a couple of logging things, maybe get some logging equipment, then I will be more open to going back to full seasonal planting and harvesting. Because it just doesn't make sense to like pigeonhole yourself, especially since this is a video game. It's supposed to be enjoyable. It's supposed to be relaxing. You're supposed to, it's supposed to be casually relaxing kind of video game. So, we're not out here shooting space aliens and getting shot at, So it's supposed to be kind of chill. I guess what I'm saying is, game mode really doesn't matter, but I do kind of want to add that little bit of a challenge back in once I hit a point where it's like I have actual stuff to do over the winter, rather than having to plant and harvest all that. Once I actually have the ability to do stuff over the winter, then I will switch over to, having just regular crops at regular times. Look out, deer! Oh, get off the field. You're gonna get run over by one of our tractors. You dumb animal. Why would you come to a field where everything is cut? There's plenty of grass right there. There's a nice cotton field over there. There's some nice brush there you can eat. I'm sure there's berries somewhere in the brush. Look, there you go. You found some nice grass. Enjoy the grass. You're welcome to eat it for free. I will not charge you for the grass. I'm not that kind of a partner. I don't think I need you anymore. Thank you very much for your time and effort. We're just gonna do this as fast as we can do this. Oh my god. Really? Get inside! You not take your boots off when you get in here? Or freaking brush your boots off before you get in? Like, what the fuck? God damn. I can understand all the dirt on the outside, but the inside? What the hell? You ever operated a freaking machine before? Like, you do not bring the dirt in the machine. You leave it outside. The machine may get dirty, but you shouldn't be. Even the friggin' gas and brake pedal, look at them! My god, what the hell? Buddy! No wonder I fired you. Jumping Jiminy Christmas. Like I said, the outside of the machine, I expect that to get dirty. The inside? Okay, man. What the fuck? Alright, let's fold this up. Let's give it back to you. I'll pay whatever the cleaning fee is. As long as I don't have to do it. Oh, wait a minute. How the hell do I get back to that? It's escape, isn't it? And then I go... Where do I go? Here? They moved this. They moved the garage from the store. It's now over... It's friggin' over here now. Which was a dumb decision. It should still be in the store. There we go. Which, I mean, you get to it from the store, but you gotta go down here and then go over here just to jump over here. Which is just dumb. Anyway. We got our beets. Let's go drop off the rest of our beets. And then we can move on to our next task, which is going to be sowing the field. Although we should probably turn it first, I would think. We should probably turn it first. Maybe see what it'll cost to throw some lime on it. Something on that. Along those lines. I think it needs lime. You know what? Okay, let's get back to Google here. Farming Simulator 2025. Put it into words. Put it into words. Man, I'm drawing a blank. Field preparation order. Maybe? I don't know. We'll try that. Okay. Typical order for field preparation is mulching, plowing, slash subsoiling, liming, cultivating, seeding, fertilizing, rolling, and then weed control. Okay. So we have seeding, fertilizing, then rolling? I thought rolling got rid of... Is that true? You roll it after you seed it? And after you fertilize it? That doesn't sound right, because I thought rolling removed the field and gave you grass again. I thought that's what the roller was. It gave you, oh no, because you have to plant grass. I might be thinking of an earlier version of Farming Simulator, where rolling actually was how you got rid of fields. Or how you erased fields, I should say. I must say, I don't like having to keep switching every time I want to dump something. I switch through my friggin' control route. I don't remember the old one being like that. All right. So we got 100 grand to get our field ready. Oh, here comes UPS ripping through. I'm just gonna call you guys. I know it's not UPS, but I'm gonna call it UPS. I'm gonna keep calling it UPS. There seems to be a real lack of variety in vehicles now too. Have you noticed that? We keep running into the same blue car over and over again. We keep running into UPS and the U.S. Postal Service. We've ran into them a few times, but it seems like there's very few variety in the NPC traffic. Like much less than there was in the last game. And the school bus. We keep running into school buses too. Doesn't matter what the hell time of day. And right now, look at it, it's 16:49. Why is there a school bus? Well, I guess that makes sense. Wait, no it doesn't. Hold on. 16, wait. 12, 14, 15, 16. Okay, so, it's 4 o'clock. Yeah, I guess a school bus at 4 o'clock. Took my brain a minute there. I guess we could have school buses at 4 o'clock. I was seeing school buses at like 8 o'clock at night. Or, wait a minute, we saw school buses with headlights on the roof. What the fuck was a school bus doing driving around at night? In fact, I remember seeing multiple school buses. Like, are kids taking night school these days? Like late night school? Because fucking nighttime in this game is late. These kids spend their lives at school. They're there all the time. 24/7. Bus drivers don't get a day off. They have to sleep in their buses. Okay, let's go to the store and see what we got. Okay, so we're gonna need. All right, let's go back to the. Okay, mulching is optional. If your harvester leaves stubble or if you have leftover crop residue, use a mulcher to chop it up. All right. So a mulcher is good if you have shit left on the field, which we do. So let's look at mulchers. They're not that expensive. Well, I guess they can get expensive, but they're really not that expensive. How wide is this? 5.6, and then we're up to 7. So 5.6, and then we come down to 2.2, 3, 3, 3, 1.4, and 1. So we got 3s, we got 2. Okay, so the 3s, we got 3s. Why is this guy 2.2 more expensive? And then we got this guy who is up to a 5.6, so almost a 7. 13 to 21. And that takes us from, what did I say, 3 to 7? 3 to almost 6, so almost double. So that'll cut our field. That's a max speed of 12. This is a max speed of 18. So this will definitely improve our production, even though it's a little more expensive. Okay, you gotta watch here though, because we need more than that. Plowing is subsoiling. I think I have plowing turned off though, so I don't really need to do that. Liming. Okay, so they say liming will reduce, okay, not liming will reduce yield by 5% each harvest. if not applied, but applying lime will increase yield by 15% for the first harvest and then decrease over time. So say 100% harvest means we're going to get 115% for the first harvest after a liming. And then it'll go down and down and down. But it reduces 5% each harvest that's not applied. So liming is definitely something we have to do. So we're going to need... It doesn't really say anything about a mulcher. It says mulching is optional. Mulching optional. If your harvester leaves stubble or you have leftover crop residue, use a mulcher to chop it up. But it says optional. So maybe we don't need a mulcher right now. I don't think the mulcher has any effect on the actual harvest. Lime definitely does. I know lime has an effect on the harvest. So we definitely want to do a liming. Which... Sprayers, spreaders, fertilizer spreaders. Do they have the limers in with the... I wonder if the limers are in with the spreaders. Yeah, there they are. That's a limer right there. That's a limer right there. Liming is needed every 3 harvests to maintain optimal soil pH. Okay, so that's the limer. It's 45. All right. Is there another limer somewhere in here? Just to check. That's a limer. It's 32. What did I say that last one was? 45. Okay, so we have a more inexpensive limer here for 32. Okay, so the Farm Tech one. All right, and that does 49 versus 9,000 to 14,000 liters. So 9 to 14 kiloliters. 9 to 14 kiloliters. Kilos. Whoops. Back. 9 to 14 kilos, and this one is 4.9 meters squared. Oi. Can we please use uniform fucking labels? 8-meter spread. What has this got? 24-meter spread. Well. What else we got? Sprayers. Sprayers don't do lime. No lime for you. Wait. No lime for you. Okay. So we got 2 options. One does a really wide, one does a really narrow. You can get a stone picker for 15. It's a very narrow stone picker. It's only 1.8 meters. But it's cheap. Okay. Let's take a look here. Shift key. Go into... factories. There's our lime production. Stone in, lime out for 30. So that is 30 plus another 30-ish. So if we get our lime producer, which I could probably throw, you know, somewhere around here. That is not snapping. There we go. So if I put a line producer, like, say here on the road end, I could rent the stone picker. I feel like I'm gonna have to rent a lot of these things. But the lime building I can't rent, so if I'm gonna buy something, it'll have to be the lime building. Let's line this up with the road. Is that lined up with the road now? Not quite. That line, yeah. I guess we can't really perfectly line that up with the road, can we? We can get close. Not quite. Let us paint. What is this, gravel? What the hell is this? I think this is gravel. Dirt. There's gravel. Gravel? Is this gravel? That is not gravel. What the fuck is that? That is not that. What the hell is that? I have no idea what the fuck this thing is. It's not gravel. It's not asphalt. I doubt it's this. No. No way. And this? Nope. What the fuck is it? It's not gravel. Definitely not gravel. It's not asphalt. It's not concrete. Those are completely different textures as well. I don't know what the fuck this is. It's gonna be gravel. It's gravel now. Change brush size and okay, and so that is how north-south goes. Just like that. I am supposed to have... there it is, lock axis. Shift. There we go, okay. You'll see I added a mod that I could lock the axis, so I could very easily just, go in a line like this. And that actually works very well. It locks forward and back. That works extremely well. Okay. Straight lines indeed. Yeah, that is not gravel. You can tell the difference. You can see it. I don't know what texture they're using up here, but it ain't gravel and it ain't asphalt and it ain't concrete. I don't know what it is. There we go. Gravel now. And I can put my building right here. So go back to my lime production building. I'm going to make sure it's nice and lined up here. Snapping is on. And that appears to be in line. We'll put that right. Let's see there. I mean, overlaps another object. Toggle free mode on. Get fucked. Overlap my ass. Boom. Perfect. right at the exit. So we can come in, we can do our drop off our stone right here, and we can pick up our lime. All right. Oh, and since this is our first building, I think we need to put a commemorative light on it. Commemorative. Not really commemorative. Just a light. Nice yard light. That is way too dim. It's a little nicer than that. Yeah. Too dim. What the hell kind of light is that? It's cool light, that's what I'd like. Got 3 lights on it. I think I like it. I think I like it. Overlaps. Fuck you. Welcome to free mode. That's another thing that they stole from a developer, or from a modder. There was a modder that did a mod called Place Anywhere. And that is actually what their Place Anywhere mod lets you do. It lets you turn off the... Holy fuck, what the hell? We're in a stadium now. That's what their Place Anywhere mod allowed you to literally place anything anywhere. So they have incorporated that mod as an actual feature now. Because it wasn't a feature that they were interested in giving us until that mod came along and said, hey, guess what the players want? You know, I think I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna go with that triple light. Provided some really nice lighting here. Question is, do I want it really tight to the building, or do I want it part of the building? Coming out of the roof, kind of, or do I want it like over here? Do I want it? I don't want it back here. Do I want it maybe by the? Good. Okay. That is not as advertised. That is dimmer than advertised. That is a lot dimmer than advertised. Much dimmer than advertised. But whatever. I guess it's like light is light. Ooh, I'll take the sign. Okay. So we're gonna head over to the store. We're gonna get a rock collector. We're gonna rent a rock collector. There's rocks in our field. So let's check that first. I think we can see the rocks in the field if there are any from the map view. As soon as it finishes doing its nonsense. Growth. Wait. Stubble, tillage, harvested. Soil composition, yeah, I know it needs lime. Oh, there are no stones. Or are there? There are no stones. Shit. Okay, well. We'll just need to rent a limer. We will need to rent a limer. Are there any fields with stones? No. Did I turn stones off? I should not have. Fieldstone on, okay. When cultivating and plowing. When cultivating and plowing. So you have to cultivate your fields first before you get stones. Which makes sense, but a lot of the planters have cultivators built into them. So you lime first, then you cultivate and plant. And then you get the stones out of your field? That doesn't seem to make sense. That doesn't seem to make any sense. Why would you... Okay. Let's see. Basic yield is 100% if you only cultivate and seed. Each fertilization step adds a 50% bonus up to 100%. After 2 fertilizations, the yield is 200%. Every other step, if not done correctly, removes a percentage point from the bonus. Plowing, liming, stone removal, and weed can be enabled and disabled. Disabled, it does not remove the bonus. Mulching and rolling cannot be disabled and are required steps in FS25 because they are introduced as the new mechanics. So I do need to mulch and I do need to roll. Okay. Harvesting and mulching. Minus 3% if not done. Liming. Minus 5% after every harvest up to minus 15%. The game suggests you do it every 3 harvests, but to achieve 100% every time you must do it after every harvest, otherwise you will lose 5% after every harvest. Okay. Early fertilize. You can use anything solid or liquid, and any wheels and nothing to destroy. This step is automatic for rice and grass. Do this before plowing. Plowing. Minus 5% after every harvest up to minus 15%. Adds a 15% bonus. Same as liming. If you only do it every 3rd harvest, the game suggests you'll get 95 and 90 the next years. Okay, plowing also removes the weeds until the next harvest, which means plowing is enabled. If plowing is enabled and you do it after every harvest, you don't need to care about weeds. If you skip plowing, you can use any other tool to prepare the field, deep cultivator, shallow cultivator discs, or just a seeder. Stone removal needed only after plowing, prevents damage to your next tools. Use the stone picking tool if you want to use the stones for production. Use the roller to push the stones back into the ground. Okay. So using the roller gets rid of stones. But it just pushes them back into the ground. It doesn't actually remove the stones. It just pushes them back into the ground. Okay. So okay. So mulching is minus 3%. Not worth. He says it's not worth the work. This guy says it's not worth doing the work for just the 3%. Liming is definitely something you want to do. You want to lime after every harvest. So lime for. I gotta write this down. I gotta write this down. This is why I have a pad and paper at my desk to write shit down. Oh, I don't want to lose that. That's my stormwork stuff. Okay. Alright, so we want to do... Okay, so first you harvest. I'm going to put harvest first. Okay, so first you harvest. Then you Mulch, we'll put down mulch as optional. Mulch. 3%. Optional. Sorry there's nothing really happening in the video right now, but I hope you're getting some of this information down, if you're choosing to play. Okay, so lime. After mulch is lime. Lime. And that is 15%. 50%. Decreases 5%. So if it's not done, it decreases by 5%. Okay. And then fertilize. Fertilize. Which gives you... It doesn't really say anything. It doesn't really say what fertilizing does. So then you plow. And plowing gives you another 15%. Another 15% bonus. And decreases 5. Every time you don't do it. Okay. Then you remove stone. Okay. And then... Okay, and then flood. Flood if you're doing rice. Okay, and then you... seed and fertilize. And then you still need to roll. You get a minus 3% if you don't roll. I'm gonna put the rolling as optional. Roll 3% optional. Because we already did stone removal, so I'm gonna put down that as optional. And then it says you can late fertilize if you forgot. So fertilize if you forgot. Because you can apparently you can fertilize after every field change. So every time you do something that basically changes the look of the field, you can fertilize after that. But only 2 of the fertilizations actually count. So if you seed and then fertilize, and realize that you forgot to fertilize earlier, you can then roll it, which changes the field, and then fertilize to get your second fertilize. So if you were like mulch, lime, and then instead of fertilizing, if you just went to plow, stone removal, flood, seed, fertilize, and then you're like, oh shit, I forgot to fertilize the first one, then you can roll it and fertilize it to get your second fertilizer. But only 2 fertilizers count, so don't go busting your ass to fertilize your field as much as possible. Because only 2 of them count, apparently. So going over this, mulching is 3%, liming is 15, fertilizing gives you, I think, 22. I think 22. And your second fertilizing gives you another 22. Does that add up right? It's 40, 5, 55, 65, 70, 80. No, I'm missing something somewhere. Plowing, 15%, yeah. Stone removal, no effect on yield. That's how you get your lime. So you definitely want a stone removal. Oh, weed work. Weed work gives you the extra 20%, but we have weeding turned off, so at the very end you do weed. Weeds, 20%, if not off. Okay, so we automatically get that 20% because we have weeds turned off. But okay, so there's the order of operations. There's the order of operations. And once again, just for anybody listening who is writing this down, you have mulch. You do your mulching first. That happens if you leave any shit behind on the field. Lime. Then fertilize. Then plow. Do your stone removal next. If you're doing rice, you'll now flood it. And then you seed. Do your second fertilize. Rolling. If you missed a fertilize, you can do a fertilize right after the rolling. And then weeds. And that's how she rolls. That's according to the experts on Reddit, multiple experts on Reddit, because I actually read through three or four different messages that were rather fairly extensive, and that was the consensus. So there you go. So I am not going to mulch because, like I said, mulching is 3%, and I'm not really worried about that 3%. So we're going to start off with liming. We'll do a lime, and then we will do our first fertilize, and then we'll see where we're at. We're going to have to rent the machines because we have quite a few machines here we're going to need. We're going to need a limer, we're going to need a fertilizer, we're going to need a plow, we're going to need a stone remover, we're going to need a seeder, and a roller if we decide to do rolling. So that's 5 machines. We don't have the money to buy 5 machines. So we're going to have to do some renting here to get us through this first planting. And then we'll slowly start buying one at a time. We'll start with renting, and then we'll see where we're at once we're at the end. Once we hit let's see, once we hit rolling, we'll see if we can afford a roller, and we'll buy that. And then the next go round, our step before that is the seeding. Well, we'll already have a fertilizer rented, so the seeding will be before that. So we'll see on our second run if we can afford a seeder, because that's the last thing we'll have to buy there. So if we can afford a seeder, we'll buy a seeder. And then the next go round, after we harvest and sell that field, next go round, we'll come down and we'll see, before that is the stone removal. We'll see if we can buy a stone removal tool. If we can, we'll get one. And then, so we'll work backwards through our list here. Each time we hit the end of the equipment that we don't have, we'll see if we can afford to buy it. So that way, we're not leaving ourselves high and dry for the planting and harvesting, and we're not leaving ourselves, and we're working our way to getting all the equipment we need. So, yeah. So we're gonna start with the roller. Okay, so I'm just gonna mark this down. We'll start with the roller. Then we'll get the seeder next. I'm just marking these 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. So the roller first, the seeder. This is gonna be our order of purchasing. The stone remover will be our third purchase. The plow will be our fourth purchase. Fertilizer will be our fifth purchase. Limer will be our sixth purchase. Harvester will be our seventh purchase. That one's going to be a big one. And then we'll start into the optionals. So we'll do the mulcher as our eighth purchase. And I think that's it. Yep, that's it. Okay, so we have 8 pieces of equipment to buy. Okay. So in order, they are roller, seeder, stone removal, plow, fertilizer, limer, harvester, mulcher. And that's working backwards through the list. So we will rent them in order, but buy them in reverse order. So that way we should have each field harvest, we should have the ability to rent the machines to do the next harvest before we go to buy the machine that we're getting that go round. And it might not be exactly in order. Like it might take two or three plantings to work our way up to buying the next machine or next piece of equipment. So that's just the way we're going to run it. Okay, so we start with mulching. We're going to skip that this time. We're going to go with the limer, which I'm going to go with this guy because he does the wider spread. Actually, let's find out what our rental cost is on this guy. If we are leasing. 2,295 versus, whoops, that's not it. 2,295 versus 1,657. And the other guy spreads farther. We're probably going to use the same amount of lime. This guy can also do fertilizer, though. I can lime and then I can fertilize. This tool suits perfectly for grape and olive farming. I don't care about grape and olive farming. Oh, probably because it's narrow. Okay. So this can lime and it can manure. Can the other guy do both? Yeah, that's fertilizer. Okay, so this guy can do both as well. And it does a wider spread. So you know what? I'm just going to rent this guy. I'm not going to quibble over like $1,000. Especially when this gets the job done faster. Okay. lime, and we will need fertilizer. Okay. Lime and fertilizer. I don't have forks for this guy yet, do I? I don't have forks to carry this shit home. Okay, let's buy the bag of lime. And then we'll buy... Where's the... Please be cheap. Please be cheap. Please be very, very cheap. Where the hell are you? Oh, it's not going to let me friggin' view the connected. Okay. Where would you be? The hell is that thing? The heck is this thing? Oh, those fold-up forks. They look like fold-up forks. Fold-up forklift. I'm just looking for the bag carriers. Where the hell are they? There they are. 700. Okay. I can afford a $700 bag carrier. Since I will use it all the time. You know, where's our bag? We need a solid fertilizer bag. Buy that. Yes. Okay. So that should hopefully take care of our liming and fertilizer needs. And we will do this properly. Excuse me. Why? Oh. Shit. Well, it looks like I'm getting my forks. Looks like I'm getting my forks. Because that is a fork device. Where are the forks? Where the heck are the forks? Huh. Where the hell are the forks? Weights, belts, winter equipment, miscellaneous. I don't think they're under miscellaneous. No. They up with the tractors? No. Oh, front loaders. They're there. Front loaders. And I need a hauler version. Because that's what I got. 8,500. 180. Oh, let's go with this one. Okay. I'm not expecting to spend money, but that's okay. Great, that's fine. Just means my equipment will have to wait for the next go around. I really thought this bag carrier was for a 3-point. piling shit over here. Okay, and load our trailer. Please tell me it's all gonna fit. Please tell me it's all gonna fit. Perfect. Ooh, please tell me I'm not gonna need another one. Shit. Oh. I guess we'll find out. I guess we will find out. And the fertilizer is half of the line. So I guess we're really gonna find out. Get this field lined and fertilized, and then we'll go from there. Probably should have went with the liquid fertilizer because I think you get more out of it, but it is what it is. Okay. Up our speed to 15. And turn on. Go. Hope the heck we don't run out. Although I think we're going to, because holy fuck. We're already down to 18%. Yeah, we're not getting this field done. Not with this little mouth. Oh, it looks like I might be handing this over to Dingbat. Because, jeez. Yep. I definitely gotta hang this over to Dingbat. Oh, shit. I didn't mean to do that. Okay. Gotta hand her over to Dingbat. Work the headlands on. Start with headlands. Go. Do it. Please don't be a moron. Please don't be a moron. You already know that you've done that? Or that's been done? I'm guessing not, because you're going to do it anyways. I'm guessing not. Oh, maybe you are. Okay. No, nope. You're gonna just... Yep. Not sure what you're doing now. Does it seriously not know how to turn while it's driving? It's doing everything in straight lines. It's like it's doing the curve in straight lines. I don't know what it's doing. Okay, so now it's got the headlands done. Well, it's got one headland done. This AI seems much more inefficient than the last one. Like the last AI would just do the field from wherever you started it. This one almost seems confused. Like, what is it doing right now? It didn't finish. It should have finished the row. It seems like we've handed the wheel over to a novice that has no clue what they're doing. And it's just like doing that, like, why would you Why did you have to drive up that far just to back up again? You were already straight. And let's see if it stops early again and then backs up and finishes. Okay. So now you swing around. Did they maybe write the AI so it stays on the field now instead of going off the edge of the field? Is that what they're doing? Again, driving way too far forward. Just to back up. When it was already lined up. And it focuses on driving straight. Notice how it stays driving straight? It'll do a turn and then it'll drive straight. And then it'll do a turn and then it'll hold driving straight. Instead of doing a casual turn to match the shape of the field, it turns and then straight, and then turns and then straight. Like it should be mapping the edge of the field to figure out what kind of a turn it needs to be making. Like, it doesn't matter what field you're in, your outside border of the field is always going to be your map of the field. So if you're going to follow the edge of the field, you want to actually follow the edge of the field. Which in this case is rounded, not, you know, it's not like square edges. So it should be following, like, if it's a 2 degree turn, then you should be driving at 2 degrees turn. For an AI, like, humans are going to be off and left field, but like an AI, if you're programming an AI, it should be doing that. It should be matching the field shape. That was better. That was a better cutoff. Not really any waste there. Because you're actually paying the AI workers, so it should be more efficient than you're capable of being. As far as the game goes, it should be at least as efficient as you are. As far as the game goes, I know that's not gonna happen in real life. You're gonna hire workers who sometimes they're not as good as you, sometimes they're better than you. It just depends, you know. But in a video game, if you hire an AI to do something, it should be at least as good, if not better than you. See, it's doing these back and forths good. It knows what it's doing on these back and forths. It's just, it has no idea how to handle headlands properly. That's where it has problems with. It is in the headlands. Oh, my seat is noisy. So far this order seems to be, it seems to make sense. You start with the mulching, which we didn't do because I'm not going to waste money on a mulcher when it's only 3% and optional. So, then you move on to the lime, you put the lime down, you put the fertilizer down, and then you plow. And that makes sense because what you're doing is you're mixing the lime and the fertilizer into the soil by plowing. Then you do the stone removal, which makes sense because you know, you're once you plow, you have just put a whole bunch of stones into your field. You've turned them all up. And then seeding makes sense as the next thing because you've already mixed everything in. Fertilizing after you seed, that makes sense. Rolling is the only thing that rolling after you seed and fertilize almost seems to me counterproductive because you're mashing your seeds have been placed in the soil at a perfect depth by your seeding machine, which is designed to, put the seeds perfectly where they need to be, and then you're going to roll it. You're going to flatten you're going to mash them down, which I don't really see that as being a good thing. But I would say if you're going to do rolling, it should be right after plowing. If you want to push the stones back into the ground, you should do that right after you plow. Then you seed. So I don't know why rolling is so far down on the list. If you're using rolling to smooth out your field, I would think you would do that right before you seed, because you want to seed in the best possible field condition. And then of course you fertilize after you seed. And you do the weeding as they're growing. So I mean, all that makes sense. It's just where they have rolling. To me, that doesn't make sense because you're smashing, you're mushing your seeds and your last fertilizer. Your last fertilizer is supposed to soak into the soil. It's not supposed to be mashed into the soil. That's what you do beforehand. That's what you do before the plowing. You mixed in fertilizer. So I don't understand that specific order of operations there. But I guess it is what it is. Okay, we'll offload our fertilizer. Or we'll offload our, not fertilizer. And then we'll drop our bag. Okay, we'll load that in. I like that you can dump the machines now. That's a nice addition. That was another mod thing that the mod developers did, was give you the option to dump your stuff back out into a pallet. Alright, let's get ourselves all set up here, and we'll turn this over to Dingbat again. Probably have to do the probably have to do this again. Alright. Yeah, worker, start with headlands. Work direction, yeah, whatever, automatic. And go. Are you going? What are you doing? You gonna take a break? Like, is this, you give up? What are you doing? It says active, but he's not doing anything. They are not doing it. Okay. Do I have to start fertilizing? Is that what we were... Or maybe it doesn't recognize that I'm trying to fertilize? It should. It should pick up that I have fertilizer in the thing. Let's try to start here. Maybe I'll start it manually and then see what happens. So, turn on fertilizer spreader. Oh, it still looks like... Well, it looks like lime, but it's not lime. It's definitely fertilizer now. Okay, what are you gonna do now? Are you gonna figure it out? Ah, now you're gonna figure it out. Okay. I was like, oh, okay. We're fertilizing. That is a nice wide spreader. Although I think our dude's gone brain dead again. Yeah, maybe not. Maybe it's far enough. Yeah, it's gonna catch. Okay, caught. Alright. So this is what I mean when I say a change of field state. You have the white field, which is now changing to a darker colored field. That is a field state change. Not everything you do in a field will cause a field state change. But you can fertilize after the change of state. Unless, of course, your change of state is fertilizing. Can't fertilize after you've fertilized. You have to do something in between. Which in our case is going to be plowing and seeding. Plowing and seeding. So we actually have 2 field state changes before our next fertilize. And fertilizing doesn't matter. It can be liquid or solid. It does not matter as far as the Reddit groups are concerned. They say it does not make a difference whether it's solid fertilizer or liquid fertilizer. It does not matter as long as it's fertilizer. So we could plow, seed, and then use this again. You ever get a craving for something, but you don't know what it is? It's like you can kind of taste the flavor. You can kind of taste the flavor in your mouth. But you can't really put a name to it. What are you doing, buddy? You completely missed a chunk. It's kind of like it's kind of like I got a craving for mushrooms, but I don't like mushrooms by themselves, so it's got to be on something. But what? I have a craving for mushrooms on something. And I don't think it's pizza. Could be chili. It could be chili. I put mushrooms in my chili. Along with red beans. Red kidney beans, they belong in chili. If you don't think so, you don't know how to make chili. Period. No argument on that. Period. Done. Said it. Conversation over. Maybe it's chili I'm wanting. Which really sucks because I have no ingredients to make chili. And it takes all day the way I do it. I do my chili on a slow simmer in the cooker all day long. Like 12-hour chili. It is so fucking good. Not my recipe, although I have made changes to it. It's a recipe that has been handed down and handed down and handed down. I keep the original recipe, but I've also made my own slight adjustments to it. Like the original recipe did not have as much chili powder. I like a little more chili powder. Not hot, per se, but more flavor. I also use a different meat. Because, again, I feel it adds more flavor. I don't stick with the lean. I don't go lean, like lean meat. I go with a medium ground. Sometimes even more than that. Sometimes I'll even go fattier than that. Because that's where the flavor is. That's where the meat flavor is. You cut out all the fat, you get rid of the flavor. I mean, people say it's healthier, and sure, whatever. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I don't care. I want my meat to have flavor, for fuck's sakes. I unloaded a pallet. So I can get bags, and it drops them off as pallets. Okay, that's good. Alright, so, I feel like we're going to need this fertilizer again. So I'm just going to hold on to it for now. We'll park it back here. Just temporarily. And that's not what I wanted to release, but okay. Now we need a plow, and then we'll need a seeder after the plow. So, let's go look at our plows. Plow. Oh, we'll need a stone picker too. Let's look at our plows. Where's our plows? Hello. Oh, duh. They're right there. God, I hate the width on plows. They are so freaking narrow. Look at that, 50,000. You don't even get 5 meters out of it. Yeah, whatever. Release that for 800 bucks. Release that for 800 bucks. And then we'll need a seeder after that. And we'll need seed. know what? I might as well buy the bag of seed right now. Where are cedars? Cedars, seeds. Give me a bag of seeds. Bag of seeds, please. Thank you. Gracias. Might as well get that while I'm there. We just have to rent the cedar. I keep knocking over that sign. I'm so glad there's no like fee for knocking over signs. Sign replacement fee or some bullshit. I would be poor. I had to pay like $1,000 every time I knocked over a sign. I would be so freaking poor. Speaking of driving, I got my motorcycle test coming up on Tuesday this next week. You want to talk nervous? Holy fuck. I'm nervous as hell. From what I can tell, they're going to have me do multiple lane changes in town and out of town, which I'm fine with. They're going to have me do an emergency stop, which is not like, you know, hammer on the brakes as if something walked out in front of you. An emergency stop is a, you know, you notice you have a problem with your bike, so you're pulling off to the side to stop. So, you know, flash your lights, pull off to the side, put on your four ways, all that good stuff. Just so people know that you are pulled over and in fact stopped. And of course, do it safely. We'll go up the highway, and I think we're going to end up going through residential stuff, residential areas too, which I have no problem with any of that. My one big concern is lane selection, because that's a big part of the test, as well as keeping your head on a swivel. So constantly looking left, looking right, checking your mirrors and all that. And they have to see your head moving. You can't do like, I don't know about a lot of you people or a lot of you fellow riders, but when I'm riding my bike, you know, it's a quick eye glance to check my mirrors. But they can't tell if you're doing that, so you have to turn your head during the test to show them that you are in fact checking your mirrors. So you have to resist the urge that you've learned to, you know, eye glance your mirrors, and you have to actually move your head from left to right. You have to almost keep your eyes locked straight ahead and turn your head instead. So you have to force your eyes not to turn, and you have to move your head instead so they can see, following you, that you're in fact checking your mirrors and checking, you know, looking left, looking right at intersections and whatnot. Because if they don't see your head moving, they'll mark you down. Because, like I said, they can't tell if you're checking your mirrors. And lane positioning is also a very important one. Normally, when I'm riding, I will ride in the outside edge of a lane because I want to be visible in the driver in front of me. I want to be visible in their mirror. So I will purposely ride. That's not what I'm trying to do. I will purposely ride on the inside lane, which is towards the center of the road. That, however, is not always where you should be. So for anybody wondering, that would be lane 3. That is not always where you should be. Sometimes you need to be over in lane 1, which I'm personally not a fan of. I don't like being in lane 1 because that puts you on the passenger side. And I know a lot of people don't check their passenger mirrors that often. You'll more often check your driver mirror than you will your passenger mirror. So I don't like being on the passenger side of any vehicle. But if you are making a right-hand turn, or a left-hand turn I should say, if you're in a left-hand turning lane you should be in that right hand position. It's called the blocking position. Keeps cars from entering your lane to make the same turn. So that's pretty much the only time you really have to be in that lane, on the right side of the lane, is when you're in a left-hand turning lane and you're making a left-hand turn. That's pretty much the only time you should be in that one position. As far as the test goes, from what I understand, if you're riding along with with a crew, you're gonna alternate your lane position depending on where you are in the line. Because I've done a lot of rides, so okay. I do not want to allow to create fields, so I'm hoping that's limiting to fields. I don't know which way's which. So I'm hoping right now it's limited to fields because it says press Y, allow to create fields. So I'm hoping that means right now it's limited to fields. But let's find out by lowering the plow and see what happens. Okay, it is limited to fields right now. Okay, good. I was worried there for a minute. I was going to make a field unintentionally. So work the headlands on. Start with headlands. It always wants to start with the up and downs, though. You know what? Let's have it start with the up and downs and see what the fuck it does. Maybe I'm screwing it up by changing it to headlands. And it apparently has no fucking clue what to say. Let's move it out. Let's move it out here. Look, you're in the middle of a field, you got a plow on. Fucking get to it. Okay. What the fuck are you doing, buddy? Was that like not a headland row or something? Maybe that wasn't part of a headland, so it did that anyway. There's the stones. I feel it's gonna miss a bunch doing it this way. I have this weird feeling it's gonna miss a bunch. Like, see these V cuts at the end? I feel it might miss those. I mean, it'll be a quick correction once it's done, but I have a feeling it's going to miss those. Can't wait until we have multiple tractors and I can leave them to do one thing while I do another. Multiple tractors, multiple fields. That's when things start to actually get a little more fun. Because I'm not just sitting around waiting for this guy to finish. could actually be off doing something else. Well, technically, I could be off doing something else right now. I could go do a mission and lease the equipment for the mission. So let's see what we got for missions. Let's see what we got for missions, because that might be an actual idea. Get some money while I'm waiting for Dingbat. What do we got? We got bale wrapping. Wrap some bales using the bale wrapper. $300 bucks. $16.50 to wrap bales on 44. But look at that. Look, the lease cost is $519, and I'm only making $16.50. And I think this takes away from that. I think if I lease, if I go borrow items, lease machines are waiting for you at the shop. Remember to fill the tools if needed. See, I have to fill the tools. So I have to fill this thing if it isn't already filled. This bale wrapper. Wait, it attaches to the front. Let me do it. I have to fill this thing if it doesn't already have wrapping. It does have bale wrap, okay. Better have bale wrap. So where am I going? I'm going to field 44, which is... Oops. Where's 44? No. Give me the map. Field 44, which is north, across the river. Okay, so we'll cross over here and then come up that road there. Or cross right here and come up that way. Let's do it this way. This ain't my machine. I'm just contracting, so I don't give Snowball's chance of crossing the frickin' fields and crossing everything and driving it down the bush. Don't care. Don't care. Cowabunga! Chew, fucking chew. We need to actually get there, but nothing says what condition we need to be in when we are there. Oh, we got a little bridge with a little creek under it. Look at that. Kind of cute. Wait, the temperature is 20 degrees and dropping. Why do we have fog? Why do we have fog? Uh-oh. Come on. The air temperature is lower than the ground temperature. Some bales. These are some pretty raunchy little bales. Dude. How? How the fuck? Oh. Unfold it. Duh.
That is the bell. Go wide. Oh, just wide. There we go. Huzzah! Your bell is wrapped. We now have a roll of cheese. Is it a bale? Is it cheese? Nobody knows. Nobody's telling. You know what? I should queue up that other field too and just go do it with this. Assuming I have enough bale wrap to do that. Cheese! It looked like a giant roll of cheese. I'm not gonna lie. I'm getting a craving for cheese. Oh my. Grab it in there. That's not driving it in there. Well, we can do this. There we go. So I've got 2 more bales here. By the looks of it, that's all I have is 2 more bales here. So let's grab that other one, that other bale wrap, and it's only 330. But I already have the machine. Oh, and it's right next door. Fucking even better. Even better. It's 1 bale. $300 for 1 bale. Fucking rate. This is a moneymaker. I'll do this all day long. Let's get her done. There you go. Contract finished. Have a nice day. Hopefully the bale stays in your field. That was an easy 300. Almost made up for the rental fee. One more bale. This is a nice get up. I'm not gonna lie. This is a really nice get up. I like them better as cheese rolls. Alright, contract finished. Let's hand in our 2 contracts and make some money. Whoops. Completed. Collect. And yeah, see, I'm only getting 1,100 for this fucker. What? Alright. Baling, baling, baling. 3 baling fields. 3, 41, and 72. Cultivating, we got 50, 62, and 86. Deadwood. Here's a problem with dead wood. Help the owner cut down all the dead trees. Each tree is already marked. You can sell them afterwards. That one's not bad. I can make money off of logs. Penalty per tree. Ooh. $2,000 if you cut down the wrong tree. Damn. This is fertilizing, harvesting. 18 grand. You harvest it and take it to the seller. 18 grand. So you're taking it to Grain Barge Terminal 1, which I think is this guy down here. Oh no, it's that guy fucking way over there. Jesus Christ. Taking it right across the whole damn map. What are you harvesting? Parsnips. Harvesting parsnips. You got to take them all the way across the map. Not gonna lie though, this is freaking good money. That one's harvesting green beans. 14. That's some freaking good money. You're losing under $1,000 for your rental. That's a big ass field though. That's like 2 to 3 times bigger than the field we got. That's like 3 times bigger than the field we got. It's huge. Look at the lease costs. Like, the lease costs are just stupid. It doesn't matter how much they pay you, the lease cost is the same. Like $7.79, look at that. And then for this one, it's got different equipment, so it's $5.19. But like these are the same. So you're better off to lease it for this one and then do this one on top of that. Because it's the same freaking equipment. Actually, you're better off to lease for this one because it's only $519, and then do these two while you're at it. Because you're saving on your lease costs and you're getting 2 more out of it. So it's like these are all $519. 1 deadwood. You got 3 here for $519, and then you got 1 for $7.79. So you're better to lease for this, and then go for that. Actually, you're better to lease for this one because you got a wider spreader. So you're better to lease for this one and then go for these 2 on top of it. Because this spreader's fucking tiny. Or if you're like me and you already have a spreader, you're already leasing a spreader. Wood transport. Transport trees to get paid. Be careful not to damage them. Any damage will be deducted from your pay. The fuck? You could damage trees? Taking the logs from there to there. Be careful not to damage them. I wonder if I can... Let's try something here. I'm going to borrow the items for that one. And then I'm going to borrow the items from this one. Okay. So now I got 2 jobs. I have one that gives me a lumber truck, and I have one that requires me to cut down trees. But I can sell the trees that I cut down. So if I take both of these guys over to that lumber one where I got to cut down the dead wood. If I take both these guys over to the dead wood, I sell the lumber from the dead wood, and then I go do the other job. And then I go do the wood transport job. Let's take this guy over to the deadwood job, which is... Come on. The deadwood job is here. So let's tag that place. Okay. So we'll head over there, we'll cut down the dead trees. Load them up on a truck. Go sell them, and then we'll do the tree transportation job. You idiot. And that right there is how accidents happen. People in cars being fucking morons. Rarely ever, it's the guy driving the transport or the heavy equipment or the tractor or whatever. They're professionals, they know what they're doing. Whereas any idiot can drive a car. Get a license to drive a car. Trust me. Trust me, I know. Especially as a mechanic, I know quite a few idiots who can't drive. And somehow they have a fucking driver's license. We're talking about people who would back into a parked car. Or, drive into a fucking dumpster that's been sitting there for years. Just people who have no business being behind the fucking wheel of a car. There's a reason why they had those worst driver shows. Every single one of the people on those worst driver shows have lost license. At least the ones who were bad drivers. I think once it's proven you are a horrible driver, you should not have a license. It's not a fucking human right to have a driver's license. Privilege. It's like every privilege, it needs to be earned. And like every privilege, in order to keep that privilege, you need to keep continuously earning it. Just as I will be, Tuesday going for my motorcycle test. That is something I had to practice for, it's something I have to earn, and it is something I have to continue to earn in order to keep my fucking license. And I actually just gave up my trucking license because I haven't actually driven a transport in 20-something years. So I said, why am I still, paying for this? Why am I still, because every 5 years you got to renew that. Every few years you got to go get a medical test to make sure you're still medically sound. Every few years you got to go get a written test done to make sure you still understand the rules of the road and all that stuff. I mean, transport drivers go through far more fucking testing than than any other driver, even after they get their license. You are constantly tested medically, you are constantly tested your knowledge tested. It's constant. And you're constantly forking out money for all these fucking tests. What? Time allowed for your Deadwood contract ran out? What the fuck are you talking about? I only had a certain amount of time to deliver that wood? Are you fucking kidding me? I better not have lost money for that. Expired. You motherfucker. Well, you know what? I'm not going to end it. Because I think that vehicle's still there. I'm not going to fucking end it. So apparently that had a time expiry on it. It was really fucking short. Does my other one have a time expiry? 55 hours, 11 minutes. What was the fucking time expiry on this? Does it even say? Doesn't say. Went fucking fast though. It's quick. I don't even think I could have done the job. Even if I would have focused on that specific job, I don't think I could have got that done. Okay, so I got 11 trees. Apparently I got 11 trees to get out of here. Out of this area. They are all marked. It says they're marked. So I have to find 11 marked trees. And I don't even know what the marks look like. Okay, what do these dead trees look like? Figure out what these dead trees look like. Okay. Okay, this looks like a dead tree. Is it marked? It is marked. Okay, so there's one. Is that a dead tree? That is not a dead tree. Okay, so I have to look for trees with no foliage and they'll have this red mark on them. Got it. Now, it appears I don't have that fucking truck anymore. Bastards. Okay, so that's one of the trees right there. I don't know that it said I had to remove the stumps. I think it just said I had to remove the tree. So clear this tree out of here. We gotta wait. We're stuck on another tree. Stick on the big one back. Get it out to the road. So now maybe through here. On the side of the road. Oh, that's as far forward as I can go with that? Okay, well. see if we can. There we go. That should be okay. Release tree. We. Kaboom. Perfect. Alright. Let's see about putting the rest of the tree there. Where's another one? Walk you out of here. Stacking trees. Look at that. Perfect stack. For our next tree, I think, is right there. I think I want to turn off the saw while I'm driving through here so we're hack down any trees I want to hack down. No. Ah, shit. Damn it. Ugh. I don't think I can grab that guy. I don't think I can grab him now that he's on the ground. Fucker. This is what winches are for. Fortunately, I don't think I have a winch. So, crap. No, it is what it is. Remember that goes there. Not when any other trees fall. This one marks. It's not pretty marked. There's one that is marked. Not that one. And I'm hung up on it. This is not one of those. I'm making it all out. Shut up.
that was what, 3? 4? It was 4. Oh, I think I see another red mark there. Straight ahead. We got a winner. Come at it from below. Oh, working guys, prize on the fence. That's no, nothing problem. Around this. I think it should be somewhere over here. I think. Nope. Almost half done. This goes all the way back over here, so. But it only shows a circle. It shows a circle in this area, so they might be all within this circle. I don't know for sure. Oh, here's one. I'm guessing they're all inside the circle. And not in the entire forest area here. Hopefully it doesn't want me to remove the stumps too. So nothing about stump removal. I only mentioned tree removal, not stump removal. That's for the trees. Oh, the power lines. The power lines are passed through. They are. They're just visual. Whoa. Okay. So find some more. Since it's only in this circle, it seems to be only in this circle. Let's keep going back in here. Going around the circle. There's not marked. Semi-dead. think there's multiple trees here that look the same. There's this tree here. It's got leaves on the top. Leaves, leaves, leaves. Leaves, no leaves. This one's marked. Okay, so that one's got no leaves on the top. That one's got no leaves on the top. So we got 1, 2, 3. There's another one there. So they are outside the circle. There's a third one here. Okay, so I got 1, 2, 3 here. Shit. Grab it. Ah, you fucker. There he is. Nice one. I really need a much killer. Come up these guys downhill. I gotta make sure when I cut them, I drive into them. So we'll grab them. And then tilt back right away. Hold it. Look at that. Look at that. Some gun on the cut. Birds or bats or whatever. Who knows? Try to scoot over here. I'm definitely gonna need a winch chain. Alright, so let's take a look here, because I believe I have... No. Search winch. Yeah, I do have this guy. He hooks on a... What the fuck does he hook up to? That doesn't look like a 3-point. I don't know what the hell you hook up to, buddy. You know what, fuck it. It definitely doesn't go on the back of this guy. It might go on the front of this guy. Maybe? I don't think so, though. I think it might go in front of the tractor. We'll finish hacking trees, because, what's our time at on this one? Yeah, you can fuck off. What's our time at on this one? 58:21. With 3 trees remaining. Okay. Number of trees cut 8. Number of trees cut. Okay. We're still going. Good God. Doing the headlands now, though. Which is good. Need to finish, though. You need to finish. Let's go back to our winch and see what we got for combinations on that guy. You motherfucker. That's only for excavators. You bastard. Really? Excavator. EXCAVATOR. Really? Well, that's interesting. I seem to remember an adapter, an excavator adapter. I seem to remember an excavator adapter. So got excavator tools. Because I had this thing on a tractor, did I not? I'm sure I did. Oh, you motherfucker, look at all the winches. I bought this guy and look at all the winches. There's so many other winches. Son of a bitch. Don't ever trust a search. Wait, where's my... Can I sell that back? Where's my selling? Can I sell that back without losing any fucking money? Bought it for... yeah, I don't think I lose anything. Well, I'm not losing much if I'm losing anything. Okay. Let's go back to the store, back into the fucking winches. And get a winch that's actually, you know... 640 kilograms, 1 ton. 44 to 60, 51 to 70. I don't really know what the difference is there. Okay, let's get this guy. Okay, so this has a winch. Does this have like more than one winch? Oh, this has 2 winches. I guess it comes to, do I want 1 winch or do I want 2? Driven pulleys? Normal pulley, driven pulley. Accessories. What's the accessories? What the fuck's the accessories? It adds a hook. I don't really know what that's... Okay. It's 50 bucks. Whatever. I mean, the 2 winches still... like less than half the price of the other one, so let's just do it. Just do it. I feel like we're gonna need winches in the future, so let's just do it. Are you done yet? Good God. Get the freaking show done. I'm actually trying to wrap this video up. We're at 3 hours, which, you know, we're getting back to Farming Simulator timing now. So we need to get this job done. Let's go. I think he's only got one more pass. He might have 2 more passes on the. He might have 2 more passes here. Ugh, come on, man! I need my tractor. This is kind of painful to watch. Let's. No, why are you... I did not tell you to rotate the plow. I just said to stop fucking driving the car. Or the tractor. Yeah. Really? Lower plow. Get fucking do it. Let's go. We're done digging around. Done with the digging around. If she doesn't want to haul, just leave her in fucking first gear. Boy. plow that land. I want to plow my land. Holy crap on a cracker. Just leave it in first. Jesus. You don't need to... Leave it first or second if you're having so much freaking trouble changing gears. Last pass. There we go. We're done. Get that crap back to the... Last time I used a plow that small, Jesus. Back to the shop. Back with you! Okay. I can't forget that I'm still renting that fertilizer, so I can't be forever doing this. But I'll get my winch pickup. The windshield's logged out of the bush. Finish cutting the rest of them. We'll rip through money that we don't have here. Still gotta get a field planted. I don't know about you, but this fog gets my ass. And just like that, it's gone. Oh, but it's back on the other side of the bridge. Jesus. Alright, let's get this winch on so we can go get some trees out of the bush. haul the son of a bitches down the road. What if you can? Why don't you just hook up the trees to the back and haul them to wherever you need to friggin' deliver them? I mean, I only have 2 drag lines, so I'm not going to be hauling a whole hell of a lot of trees, but... that would be kind of interesting. I kind of wonder what the appropriate length would be for the most money. Because I know if you just hand him a tree, even if you like cut the branches off the trees, if you just hand him a tree, you're going to lose a lot because it's not properly trimmed. So I kind of wonder what the length of tree that gets you the most money is. So back to Google we go. Back to Google we go. Farming Simulator 25. Optimal tree length. Alright, let's see what we got. Farming Simulator 25. The most profitable length for selling individual logs is generally 9 meters. For selling entire trees, 6-meter logs are also a good option. So the most profitable is 9 meters, but if you're selling entire trees, 6 meters. Probably because you can get more cuts out of a 6-meter tree than you can, or you can get more 6-meter cuts out of a tree than you can get out of a 9-meter tree. Or you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? It's a lot easier to get more 6-meter cuts than it is to get 9-meter cuts. Oh, that field looks like it's died. Looks like the looks like the Unfortunately, we've lost our maze. Okay, so we're almost there. You can see our tractor up ahead. So let's see about getting our trees out of the bush. Our logs out of the bush. Bringing them over here. I know we have like one right here somewhere. Oh good, somebody flipped the light switch. Here's one. Okay, now, I've never used these winches before, so this is going to be a new thing. I guess we got to put this down. And probably get out. Oh, what's, oh, cool, you can put a chainsaw on there. I do not have a chainsaw, but that's cool. How about hand tool? That is cool. Okay, so pull winch rope. Alright. Oh, I see. And then you attach it to, let's see there. B. Aha! Okay, now what? Attach another tree. Oh, I don't have the other tree over here, so we're not going to do that. Control winches key and F. Oh, there we go. Okay. So pull that right in. Alright, and then we raise it up. Okay, okay, okay. We're doing it. We're doing it. And now we drag the sucker out. Very good. This works well. We'll just drag it down the road here. It's gonna function like a long trailer. It's gonna drag from the top end, so we'll have to make some adjustments for that. And we're facing the wrong center pitch. Okay. We'll go down and turn around and come back. That's simple, right? Maybe? Maybe not? Because she doesn't want to fucking turn? There we go. There we go. We got to turn it now. We got to turn it now. Oh, yeah. Okay, so detach from winch is Y. So let's detach from winch. Okay, and now can we use that as like a plow to bring it up alongside? I'm guessing the answer to that's going to be a yes, but let's see. I can use this to push it into place. Perfect. That went awesome. Okay. We got one more tree in there that we have to haul out. I think it's kind of it's over a little bit. I think. Here somewhere. Through this brush. We should find our tree. There it is. It's already facing a good direction, which I like. Okay. Hold on. Here. Lay down. Grab our winch. R. Attach it here. So B. Perfect. And we can winch up from inside the tractor, so that's good. Control. Okay. Winch it in. Perfect. And then up. And then we can drag it down the road. Huzzah! This is great. You know, I love doing logging in 22. And in all honesty, a winch was the only thing that was missing from that. That, believe it or not, the winch is the only thing that I was actually excited for in Farming Simulator 2025. That's it. That's the only thing that I was excited for was the winch. And that's God's honest truth. The winch is the only thing, the absolutely only thing I was excited for. Everything else, don't really care. Winch, fucking right. I was looking forward to that because I like doing the lumber and I like doing tree farms. I like doing lumber, as people know. So when I heard there was a winch coming, I was like, holy yes. And I believe there was a winch in 22, but you had to have a specific expansion in order to use it. And I was not forking out. Money to buy 22 and an expansion just to get the fucking winch. Considering I had 22 on Game Pass, I wasn't about to. I was about to add the added expense of getting the expansion for a game that I didn't own. I was only renting, quote unquote. Alright, so I'm gonna park this guy. You know what? I'll park him over here, just in case I need them again. Park them right here. Good spot for them. Alright. And then we'll get back to cutting more wood. We gotta get this contract completed. Okay. I believe there was one more tree over in that far over section. Then I'm gonna have to search for the other trees because I have no clue where they are. So there was one more tree way over here by this where this bird's thingy was. Yeah, that one's probably. We're done. That guy's over here somewhere. You. Where the hell are you? Oh, you're over here. Oh, there? No. Oh, there was another one. Oh, there it is. Where the frig are you? Here's the birdhouse thing. I know there was one more tree. There it is. I knew I saw one more tree over here. I don't know where the other ones are. I'm gonna have to keep looking for them. I think there's, what, 2 more? After this one? I think there's 2 more after this one. The other marked trees have to be down this end somewhere. I think I got 2 more. There's only 2 left in there. I like this machine though. This machine's amazing. For getting the trees out. Maximum speed takes a lot to get better. But other than that, so now that I have the winch, I actually don't technically need this machine. I just need a chainsaw. And I can winch it out of the bush. Winch the trees out of the bush. As you can see, I didn't really have any trouble doing that. Cool. And I can still stack them up all nice like I'm doing. Okay, I gotta go find these other trees. I'm betting they're on that far end. See them here. So I'm head down the bottom here and head down the far end. This is the other end over here. Dead trees. I would assume they're going to be around here somewhere. Oh, wait, there's one. Where's your mark, you fucker? Why don't you have a mark? You're a dead tree. There's no mark on this tree.
type deadwood. That's a dead tree, but it's not marked. There's another one. Are you marked? There's also a deadwood tree, and it is not marked. So there's 2 deadwood trees that aren't marked. So I'm going to do a quick sweep back in the circle area here, just to make sure there's no other deadwood trees in here. Oh, here's one. And it is marked. Okay, so that's one. Is that the other one? No. Okay, so I do have one right here. Oh. It's a dead one, but it's not marked. Again. Oh, because I'm outside the circle. They got to be in the circle. Okay. So here's one. So I'll come get this guy. He's just past the bird. Just past the birdhouse. Oh. Here's the other one. Wait, is this the same one? No. This one. And this one. Okay. Yeah, okay, I found them both. Alright, let's get back to work. Okay, so they're both up by the birdhouse. Which, I'm calling it the birdhouse. I don't actually know what the fuck it is, but I'm calling it the birdhouse. But they're both up by the birdhouse. There is more deadwood, but it is not the deadwood we're looking for. There's the birdhouse. So we're going to have one over here. And we're going to have one over there. So this guy is right in front of us. Yep, okay. This guy here. Gotcha. This was probably the wrong way to go with this, but we went out anyways. Okay, perfect. And then we'll come back up here. Grab the other guy. And that'll be the last. That should be the last tree, I think. I think we're down to our last tree now. Although 90%, maybe not. I think there was 11. Was there 11 trees? No, there's more than that. I forget how many trees there were. But anyway, I'm pretty sure we have some more trees to go. I could have swore there were only 2 more. But the percentage is kind of throwing me off there. Maybe it was 11 trees and it's just showing 90% for, I don't know, shits and giggles. No idea. As far as I know, we're on our last tree. Looking for it. It should be right around here somewhere. Come on. Okay. There's the bird hose. Went a little too far. Sometimes it's easier to see things when you get out of the vehicle. There's the bird hose. Because that tree is reduced here somewhere. These guys. Do that one. Maybe this one. There it is. Okay. Come on, tree. Don't dig around. I don't know why that big clamp doesn't stay on it. It seems like it would be a smart idea for that big clamp to stay closed when we're trying to transport the damn thing. But it opens back up and just leaves this little tiny clamp on the top there holding it. Seems like a bad engineering design to me. That big clamp should be doing the business. Oh, let's try to get off of that tree and get out of here. There we go. Alright, we're out. We're out. Can you imagine driving down the road and just seeing this? Driving down the road and this is what you see coming at you. I think I'd shoot a brick. We'd definitely be taking out these power lines if they weren't just passed through. Alright, so we have completed our contract. We have all this fun wood here that we can now chop up and set. Alright, so let's return our leased equipment here, because that's going to cost us additional money if we keep it. I think. So we'll go to our contracts, hand in our contract, and then we have all this wood to deal with. Completed. Collect. Alright. You mother... It got rid of all of our logs! As my fiance would say, you absolute fetus. How the fuck dare you? I can't believe it got rid of all of our logs. It just wiped them out. That's a load of horseshit. Okay, mental note. Don't sell the or don't finish the contract until you're fucking done with absolutely everything attached to the contract. That's bullshit. It even said that we could sell the logs, but it doesn't give us the logs to sell if we hand the contract in. That was probably a good 5, 6, maybe even 10 grand worth of fucking wood. Well, that's what I get. That's what I get for trying to come through here. Oh no. That's even worse. Why am I stuck on the roof? What is going on here. I don't see why I'm stuck on the roof. I will push off the roof and go back my ass out of here. Or I will push off the roof and try to grab my ass out of here. One or the other. Either way, fucking moving. I have no idea what's going on right now. Oh my god. You can do it! I had no fucking idea why we got jammed under there. We had plenty of clearance. This is the antenna. That little antenna get jammed. That was ridiculous. Hey, mental note, don't drive under that little roof anymore. It is lower than it appears. I like the fact that we have a winch now. I really do. I'm definitely going to put the sucker to use. On another note, where the fuck am I? I'm not even sure where I'm at right now. Okay, there's the river. There's the river. Okay, if that's the river, that means we normally cut between these fields here, right? Then we head that way into town. Hey look, we have wet tires. Do we have a wet windshield? Of course not. Our wipers are going full fucking force, but there's absolutely no goddamn water on the windshield. How lame ass is that? Our wipers are going full tilt, not a drop of water on the windshields. Absolutely ridiculous. But yet, they make the tires look wet. The tires look wet. Does the tractor look wet? Not really. Maybe a little bit. Maybe. No more than when you're power washing it. Alright, so I think our next thing to do is stone removal. But I'm going to save that for our next video because we're at 4 hours now, and I was trying to end this video around 2 hours. So I am really bummed out that we lost that entire friggin' load of logs. Right now, if I could go back in time, I think I would have rather bought Farming Simulator 22 with the expansion for the winches.
Let's see what that is. There it is. Attach and place you right there. You are awesome, and we're definitely going to make use out of you. Okay, so now we're going to park for now. And we'll come back at this again another time. Possibly tomorrow, we'll see. But that's going to be it for tonight. So, take care, everybody. This is Jodian signing off. Fucking hell, I will see you next time. Alright, take care. Bye-bye now.